Coming up on this edition of SWTV News. It was a series of adjournments in Swift Current Provincial Court this week. The official launch of SaskTel's new infiNET fibre optic network took place on Tuesday. Students from the Swift Current and Regina Christian Taekwondo schools recently rallied together to break boards and chains for international justice. Saskatchewan Roughrider Weston Dressler brought his passion for football and the desire to give back to the community during his keynote address at the KidSport breakfast in Swift Current. Thanks for joining us here today. A number of high-profile cases were in Swift Current Provincial Court this week, with all adjourned until later next month. It was a series of adjournments in Swift Current Provincial Court this week. First, the case involving 31-year-old Michael Chichula, a former Swift Current RCMP Constable. His case has been adjourned once again until May the 11th. Chichula was arrested in Swift Current on January 19th and charged with 2 counts of drug trafficking for cocaine and ecstasy. The arrest and charges came about through an extensive investigation by the Moose Jaw Police Service and the RCMP F Division Major Crime Unit, including an internal code of conduct investigation, with the drug trafficking occurring in the Greater Toronto Area. Chichula has been suspended from his posting as a general duty constable at the Swift Current Rural Detachment since last October. And the case against a 36-year-old Gull Lake man has also been adjourned. The accused, who's charged with a string of criminal charges, including criminal negligence causing bodily harm, cannot be identified to protect the identity of a child victim. The case relates to the initial arrest back in February, when the accused gave marijuana cookies to a 20-month-old boy. The child suffered seizures, was hospitalized, and has since recovered. On Monday, the judge granted the accused permission to change his place of residence to another location in southwest Saskatchewan, while continuing to follow his original bail conditions. The Gull Lake case will be back on the Swift Current Provincial Court docket on May the 11th.
The future is here. Saskatchewan's fastest internet with unlimited usage and blazing speeds. infiNET. Watch for it in your neighborhood, only from SaskTel.
Swift Current is one of 9 centers across Saskatchewan to come on board with SaskTel's newest technology. We have more in this report. Faster internet speed has arrived in Swift Current. The official launch of SaskTel's new infiNET fibre optic network took place on Tuesday, complete with cake and an interactive display in the lobby of the iPlex. Swift Current is one of 9 Saskatchewan urban centers that will be on board with this latest technology from SaskTel. President and CEO of SaskTel, Ron Stiles, says the new infiNET service will be offered first to current SaskTel customers and then on to the general population, all concentrated in the residential areas of Swift Current.
Well, we're starting in the south end of Swift Current right now. We've completed a number of aerial distribution areas, and again, we're starting to offer service to the individuals themselves to connect them up. We'll gradually move ourselves north. We should be done the aerial areas, we believe, by about summertime, and so anybody in the aerial areas at that point in time, we should be starting to knock on your door to start to connect you up to the service as well. North of the highway, the areas that are underground, we'll probably start those within another 3 or 4 weeks, and you'll see underground work continuing all the way through the summer. I wouldn't think connections there will start probably to the fall of 2015 and then into 2016 as well.
He further adds that the benefits of the new fibre optic network will prepare customers for the future with greater upload and download internet speeds and the latest television technology.
With infiNET, we're able to provide speeds all the way up to 260 megabits per second, and 260 megabits per second is the fastest residential speed offering right now, not just in Saskatchewan, but in Canada. On top of it, with those kind of speeds, we're able to offer unlimited data, and that is something we're the only provider in Saskatchewan right now that offers unlimited data online. It's going to give us the ability to bring new products and services to people here in Saskatchewan, products that we see on the horizon. It might be 3D television, it might be Ultra HD, but it'll be the kind of products that people will expect from us and that we're going to be now in a position to provide.
In the coming weeks, Swift Current residents may be contacted by SaskTel, alerting them that technicians may need to gain access into their backyard for system upgrades in the neighborhood. As well, customer service representatives will be giving you a call to see if you're interested in upgrading to the new fiber optic network. The 10-year, $670 million initiative by SaskTel will upgrade the broadband network to the new fiber optic system through Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Regina, Saskatoon, Yorkton, Prince Albert, and North Battleford. SWTV News is pleased to partner with the Swift Current Salvation Army, JD AgTech, and PharmaSave in our Give for Good campaign series. We now bring you our latest feature.
I really do hope that as people are watching this video series and hearing other people's stories, they really will observe what's going on in their own lives, see how they are giving for good, look for further opportunities to give for good, and that they will experience all the joys that come from that.
Unfortunately, in our society today, everybody is so caught up in the whirlwind that is their own life that they forget that there are other people out there as well.
You know, giving your time is really valuable, I know, for many organizations, and finding volunteers can be a struggle at for some organizations. So, you know, that time commitment it's definitely worth something to the organizations you're helping.
Meet Kennedy, Cassandra, and Larissa. They may look like your average comp high school students, but they aren't. Here we go. As part of this year's winning Ardens basketball team, all three have been committed to making the team the best that it can be, both on and off the court. One of the highlights for the team this season was the involvement in the annual Shoot for the Cure Pink Game, which is a national fundraising event for cancer. Along with the special game that had the team wear pink uniforms, the team also raised money locally.
We realized that a lot of people in our school were affected by cancer and know someone that has cancer. So the fact that we were able to raise money and have the money go straight to people in Swift Current was really a big part of it.
With the same energy and enthusiasm that the girls put into basketball, the three led the team with a number of fundraising activities.
Well, we started off with ideas, like listing ideas, seeing what would work best for our school and what would raise the most amount of money, or what things would draw people to our game and raise awareness.
Our goal was around $2,000, $2,500, but we actually raised $3,000. We had a float day, we had a raffle, we had carnations and pops that we sold, and then we also sang if you bought more for Valentine's Day, and we had courtside seating and then just donations.
I did not think it was going to be that much work. We were at the school by 7:45 in the morning so that we could get the early crowds of kids on the farm buses and stuff coming in. We went at lunch, we walked around the school asking people to give money, and we stayed after school so that people leaving, we could get them, and then after practice, we would plan for the next day.
Early in the process, the girls had decided to keep the funds local, with all proceeds going to the oncology department at the Cypress Regional Hospital. But what they didn't count on was the effect it had on them personally.
We went to the oncology unit here, and there was a woman that was coming out of cancer and just finishing, and we presented the check to her as a team, and we even sang our song from the carnation sale to her, and we just got to meet her and talk to her about what we've done, and she was really pleased to see all the hard work we've put in.
Felt really good. We were over our goal, we had made a ton of money, and it really hit me when we walked into the hospital and presented the check, how grateful the nurses and the cancer patient was. It really hit me that we had made a big difference to our community.
Oh, it was really good. It felt awesome just to give back and to actually know our money was going somewhere, to see where it was going, to see who it was going to be used for.
Upon reflection of the hard work and the money that was raised, some important wisdom about giving was learned.
Our society is very greedy, and we live in a me world where we only focus on ourselves. So in order to break out of that, you have to reach out to other people and try and spread it more so. So it's not just yourself you're trying to help, it's other people.
If you are a super busy person, obviously you're not going to have a lot of time to give. You could, but like then give your money that you're working for. You can help other people in need, but time I think is a big contributor. If you don't have the money to give your time. You have an hour, 2 hours on a weekend maybe that you have free. You can go help, or you can help raise money for something. You don't necessarily have to have the money to give.
Having your time and actually learning and being involved and engaged in something, it's way better than just giving money. We didn't just raise some money and then just give it to her and then leave. It was a whole experience. It was everything within it.
Although these girls come from different backgrounds, their dedication and commitment to the sport of basketball binds them together. And now, so too does the willingness to see a need in their fellow man and give for good.
We would take a fundraiser that they do every year at the universities, and we'd extend it across a whole week here in Swift Current in our own community.
Breaking boards and chains was the focus of a special fundraiser in Swift Current. We bring you all the highlights in this report. Students from the Swift Current and Regina Christian Taekwondo schools recently rallied together to break boards and chains for international justice. One by one, each of the students took their turn in breaking boards using their hands, elbows, and feet. An afternoon of personal achievement and fundraising for a worthy cause.
In the week prior to this, we have raised money to free slaves, and now we are just breaking boards to represent of how we're breaking chains. So slaves are being broken, their chains are being broken, so they don't have to be slaves no more, and they're free from what they were in.
The group raised over $5,800 to help the International Justice Mission and its work in freeing individuals from slavery, sex trafficking, and sexual violence worldwide. A cause which often helps children in these situations, and one which Anna Voicey of Swift Current was pleased to go door-to-door fundraising for.
I feel like I'm making a difference because I know that IJM uses our money to go on missions and all, so yeah, it's good.
An event which continues to shine the spotlight on the students' overall Taekwondo skills and sets the scene for annual fundraising by the local club.
Last year was our first time at bat breaking boards for this event, and we were able to raise just over $4,500, which was enough for an entire mission for IJM, and competing against other schools across Canada, we came in first place. So hopefully we're going to be doing that today. We've got some really new students, so this will be kind of a first chance at doing it. We've been practicing a little bit at the school, like learning how to punch and stuff correctly, but today we'll be putting the test to, putting in.
More information on the Swift Current Christian Taekwondo Club and the International Justice Mission are all available online. Saskatchewan Roughrider fans recently came out to meet their favorite player and support a worthy cause in Swift Current. Saskatchewan Roughrider Weston Dressler brought his passion for football and the desire to give back to the community during his keynote address at the KidSport breakfast in Swift Current. A large crowd gathered at the Sky Center to meet the rider slot back and to raise funds for the local KidSport chapter. An event which Dressler was pleased to be a part of, as sports has been an important part of his life since he was a child.
Really, for me, it was everything. I went from season to season. It wasn't winter, summer, fall. It was football season, basketball season, baseball season. That's how it was for me growing up. Whatever season I was in, that was my favorite sport at the time as a kid. I just got into it and fell in love with sports and activity.
Dressler further adds that through sport, he was able to learn many life lessons, such as the meaning of success and failure.
My lifelong dream of playing in the NFL and coming out of college when that didn't happen was when I felt like a failure. And as I learned about the CFL and kind of went through my career playing in Canadian Football League, that's when I started to develop more and more this thought of what failure really was for me, because that was a moment in my life when I felt like I failed. and I was down and upset about it and sad. But looking back on it now, I've seen what I've gained because I had that goal so high, what I've gained from it, even though I didn't ultimately reach that.
A well-rounded morning of fundraising, thanks to the crowd's participation in the live auction. And the winning bid of $2,500 for the autographed Weston Dressler jersey. Money raised which will ensure all kids can play in the community, no matter their choice of sport.
In 2014, we spent just under $50,000 on registrations for kids here in Swift Current. We have a limit of $500 per child per calendar year. So not only can they register and sign up for one sport, they can actually do multiple sports, but to a maximum of $500 per kid per year.
Since it started in 1996, the Swift Current chapter for KidSport has raised over $400,000, assisting youth in the community.
The future is here. Saskatchewan's fastest internet with unlimited usage and blazing speeds. infiNET. Watch for it in your neighborhood, only from SaskTel.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.